President. My question is to the Minister for Mental Health. Minister, in its judgment in Health Secretary, Ministry of Health and Australian Salaried Medical Officers Federation of New South Wales No. 2, the Industrial Relations Commission, after noting that the Secretary for Health, quote, opposed the application for interim relief in its entirety, end quote, observed that, quote, to not grant the allowance would likely constitute a negative signal and lack of appreciation which could have the effect of exacerbating the shortage and the associated problems facing the public health system, end quote. Why did you oppose granting an attraction and retention allowance to psychiatrists, and how do you respond to the Commission's finding that refusing to do so likely constituted, quote, a negative signal and lack of appreciation to psychiatrists?
The Honourable Rose Jackson.
I was so pleased and I welcomed the finding of the Industrial Relations Commission in relation to the specialist case that we welcomed and asked the Industrial Relations Commission to consider in relation to our staff specialist psychiatrists. We were absolutely party to initiating those proceedings, recognising that a special case required special consideration. I've already said multiple times on the record, and I reiterate, we will be adhering to the findings of the Industrial Relations Commission. I mean, I think quite interesting perspective from the opposition here, because of course people may have followed the fact that the Commission found that on top of the 10% onerous duties allowance that New South Wales Health is already paying to our staff specialist psychiatrists, that they should be awarded a 10% attraction and retention bonus for a period of 12 months whilst the broader ASMOF award is being finalised. So that was the finding. I mean, of course, this would have been impossible under the previous government setting, because, of course, they offer to not just psychiatrists but to all public servants.
My point of order is relevance. I didn't ask about the attraction and retention allowance. I asked why the Minister had opposed that and risked sending a negative signal to psychiatrists.
In inviting the Minister to set out her reasoning, the Minister has broad latitude to set out her reasoning, including the case, what the Commission actually said in the case, and of course the ability of psychiatrists to bring the case. That is the Minister responding in a manner that is directly relevant to the question.
Thank you. There's no point of order. The Minister has the call.
I was making the point, Mr. President, that I did really welcome the finding because it demonstrates the system working, the Industrial Relations Commission, with the shackles taken off, able to make an order that we indicated we are happy to accept. The previous government's offer to psychiatrists was 2.5%. So, I mean, I'm not surprised that they are raising questions and concerns with the finding. Presumably it's because they think 10% is too much. I mean, that is the only conclusion that you can reach. That's the only conclusion you can reach based on their history of 2.5% being a fair, or indeed 0% for some years. So I'm only assuming, Mr. President, that these questions in relation to the finding are because the opposition are very concerned to see the Industrial Relations Commission doing its job with the shackles off.
Point of order has been taken. The Honourable Susan Carter.
Point of order is again relevance. It's fascinating to know what the Minister thinks the opposition is thinking, but the opposition is asking, why did you oppose the retention and attraction allowance?
Yes, on this occasion I uphold the point of order. I don't see how this particular parley down the line of discussion about the opposition is relevant to the question at hand. The Minister has the call.
So, as I was saying, I mean, the Commission was considering the dispute between the New South Wales Government and the staff specialist psychiatrists as to what was the best way to resolve the shared understanding of the impact of a decade of wage suppression. We put on the table the government wages framework. That's what we had put on the table consistently and repeatedly. 3.5%, 4%, plus the 10% onerous duties allowance that we were already paying. That was what the position is that we put on the table. The staff specialist psychiatrists put a 25% not bonus, wage increase paid into perpetuity on the table. We opposed that. I don't resile from the position of the New South Wales government that a 25% pay increase paid in perpetuity for psychiatrists was not a position that we supported. We didn't support that. I've been upfront about that. We have been clear that the government wages framework represents our approach to these matters, but we were also clear that in the circumstances of a lack of agreement, we asked the Industrial Relations Commission to determine...
The Minister's time has expired. Order. Sorry, is the Leader of the Opposition asking a supplementary question? The Honourable Susan Carter on a supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr President. Minister, could you elucidate your answer in relation to the cost of the allowance by informing the House whether the estimated fiscal impact of the 12-month temporary allowance by the Commission, based on expert evidence from a New South Wales Treasury official of approximately $10 to $15 million, is provided for in the budget? And if not, how will it be funded?
The Honourable Rose Jackson.
In answer to the question, we're still finalising the exact budgetary impact of the finding. We are back in the Commission on the 17th, I think, with the parties to agree in relation to the implementation of it. One of the questions that has an impact on the budgetary impact of the determination is we would obviously hope that now that this matter is resolved, that our staff specialist psychiatrists can see the good faith in which we've not only been paying the 10% onerous duties allowance, but of course will agree to the 10% 12-month interim order, and we would hope that, and I'm pleased to report to the House there has already been some indication of staff specialist psychiatrists returning to the system. So exactly the impact of that is still being finalised, and we'll be back in the Commission on the 17th. I can assure those opposite that, as we have indicated, we are committed to implementing the decision of the Industrial Relations Commission, and that 12-month bonus or interim payment, attraction and retention payment will be funded by New South Wales Health, and we are very hopeful that the psychiatrists who have been engaged with the government on this will see the good faith in which we've now committed to resolving the matter, and we look forward to ongoing engagement with them.
The Honourable Dr Sarah Kane.